Welcome. My name is Faiz Mohammad Naeem and my group member is Abdul Ghaffar Khan. The topic of today's presentation is Syntax Analyzer Bottom-up LALR1 Parser. First of all, I will introduce you to my topic step by step. Then we will move towards our main topic LALR1 Parser and we are going to solve an example related to it in order to understand it properly. There are 6 phases of compiler construction. The phase that we are going to discuss today is known as Syntax Analyzer and it is the second phase of our compiler construction. What is a syntax analyzer? A syntax analyzer is also called a parser. It takes input from the first phase of compiler construction known as lexical analyzer in the form of token streams and it generates a parse tree. Now how it works? It basically processes the input token stream against the production rules defined in our grammars and detects the syntax errors if any, and if there are not any syntax error, it generates a parse tree as an output. So basically the input of this phase is token and the output is a parse tree. Now these production rules of our grammar are implemented in the form of small modules or functions in this phase of compiler construction, and these modules are used to check the syntax of input stream. There are two major categories of parsers, bottom up and top down. The technique that we are going to discuss belongs from bottom up parser. What is a bottom up parser and how it works? A bottom up parser is a sort of parser that works in opposite direction from bottom to up. It starts from the leaf nodes and moves towards the root node and creates a parse tree. It works in a backward fashion and uses the rightmost derivation. It is also known as shift and reduce parser. As we discussed earlier, bottom up is known as shift reduce parser. Shift reduce is further known as LR parser, and LR parser is divided into three major categories: SLR parsing, LR parser, LALR parser. The technique that we are going to discuss today belongs from LALR parser. Let's move towards our main topic. LALR1 parser, what is its full form? Look ahead, left to right, rightmost derivation. Since this parser uses look ahead symbols and it moves left to right and uses the rightmost derivation as it is a bottom up parsing technique, therefore it's known as look ahead, left to right, rightmost derivation 1 parser. Now what is LALR1 parser? It is a sort of parser that works on the intermediate size of grammar and uses look-ahead symbols and canonical collection of LR1 items, and the states with same look-ahead symbols are merged. It is similar to CLR1 parser. The only difference between these two is the parsing table. The number of states in LR1 parser and LALR1 parser and SLR1 parser are exactly same. Now let's solve an example and understand whatever we discussed in the last slide properly. This is our LALR1 grammar, which consists of three production rules. S is the starting symbol. First of all, we will convert our LALR1 grammar to augmented grammar. How we are going to do it? Very simple. We are going to introduce a new starting state or new production rule at the start, which will proceed towards our starting symbol S, and we are going to place a dash sign. So basically the first production rule, S bar produces S, is the augmented production. With the help of this production, we converted our original grammar into the augmented grammar. Now how we are going to create the LR1 items? In this augmented production, we are going to place a dot symbol. Now whatever is after the dot, if we have a production related to it in our grammar, we are going to place it. In the first augmented production, what we got after dot was S. We are going to place its production from our original grammar. Now in this second, we have a capital A and we have two productions related to it in our original grammar. We are going to place them. Now for LR1 items, this was first thing. The second thing is look aheads. The look ahead of augmented production is always going to be $sign. Now in the second production, the look ahead is again dollar. Why is it so? Why this? The reason behind this is why we place this production. We place this production because of the first augmented production, because the dot after the dot we got S, so we place the S production as the second production. So we are simply going to copy the $sign in the look-ahead portion from the first production. Whatever is after the comma in our production is look-ahead. So in the third production, how we are going to see our look-aheads? What we have after dot is a small a, which is a terminal. But what we have after that is a capital A. So we are going to go to the productions of capital A and we are going to calculate the first of capital A. The first of capital A from the two production is A, B. So we are going to place A and B with the help of a slash symbol in the look-ahead section of third production. Now in the last production, why we place this production? That is because of the last production. That is A produces dot small a capital A. So whatever is in the section of that look-ahead section of that last production, we are going to simply copy it here. In this way, we created augmented grammar and LR1 items. Now we will use this grammar to create states, and how we are going to create states is we are going to apply closure function. First of all, what we created in the last step was augmented grammar and LR1 items. We will apply closure on that, and that complete augmented grammar will be considered as I0 state. Now we are going to expand and parse each and every production and terminal, non-terminal in it, and create further states from I0. This is our state I0, which is the first state. When we applied goto on the first production in I0 state, we derived I1 state and we parsed S. Since this is the augmented production, so whenever we'll parse augmented production and create a new state, that state is going to be known as acceptance state. So I1 is our acceptance state. Since there is nothing after S, since when we passed it and the dot is after S and there is nothing after the dot, so no more productions will be in this state. So this is our first state. But what about the second state? How we are going to parse that state? When we parsed A from I0, we moved to the second state. For every production that we are parsing in I0, we will create a new state. So when we parsed the second production with A, we move the dot from start to the position after A. And what is after the dot? Capital A. So all the productions in our grammar with capital A will be written under this production, and this state will be I2 state. And remember, look-aheads are going to remain the same for now. In the similar fashion, when we will parse small a and small b on I0 state, we will create two new states, I3 and I4. Now, no more parsing can be done on I0 state since we can only parse one thing and one production. Now, if any of our productions are left with further parsing and are not complete, we will parse them from the states that we created after I0. So on I2 we parsed A and the production. Now this production is completely parsed. No new productions will come under it since there is nothing after the dot, and this state will be known as I5, will be known as our final state since it's completely parsed and finished. No further parsing is required in this state. And what about I6? I6 is not completely parsed and we are going to parse small a on this state. We will parse it, and whatever is after the dot, we are going to write its production as well, as we discussed in the last slide. In the similar fashion, we are going to parse small b on state I2 and create state I7. And we are going to parse capital A on state I3 and we are going to create new state I8. And we are going to parse A on state I6 and we are going to create new state I9. So when all the states and all the symbols and all the productions are completely parsed without any repetition, we are done with our states. Now what is the next step? Merge states. We have 6 states which are same in their production rules but differ in their look-aheads. So what we are going to do now is combine all those states into one. For example, I3